think we're going to be a bit shielded with the hills back there, and we got forest all around us, but I still think that we're an hour, maybe 2 hours from the strongest winds. These were laying over a little while ago. I had to go take an antenna down and tie the top of my tractor so it wouldn't lift up, so it's trying. It will get there. Stay tuned. You can see the wind starting to scream here a little bit. You can hear it coming, actually. It roars a little bit. And then it hits. Hopefully all the roaring's overhead more so than anywhere else. And we have the fool on a motorcycle out in this. Oh well, they don't get the message, I guess. They're doing bamboo. The storm is approaching.
Yan, super typhoon po. Napakalakas po ng hangin. Yan, ang dami na pong matumba. Mga puno po. Ayun yung mga kamuting kahoy. Yan, grabe po ang hangin. Yan. Nakakatakot. Grabe po. Sana po marami sa amin ay ligtas po. Yan lang po masasabi ko. Sobra po ang hangin. Ang aming bahay na maliit. Aywan ko kung magiging okay. Yan. So, nasawa ko ayun sa loob. Yan guys, palakas ng palakas yung hangin. Nagsimula pa to kagabi hanggang ngayon. Anong oras na? Ano daw po ito ay super typhoon. Mas malakas pa ito sa nakaraan. So, anyway. Yan po, ingat po tayong lahat.
It's getting a little bit hairy outside. I think it's starting to break here and there. Slamming everywhere. We got little solar cell on top we forgot about. It's slamming the roof. It's blowing pretty bad. So I guess that we're getting into the worst part of the storm now, because it's really gusty. So we'll see what happens next. Welcome to Odette. Getting a bit hairy out there. Can't get too close because the camera gets wet. You can see it's getting crazy. So we're going to find out what happens next. This is the strongest winds I've seen yet. Storm's been going on for about 3 hours. We keep getting these huge gusts, and we're afraid it's going to take the roof off. It's not taking it off yet. It's torn down trees everywhere. This is a major hurricane hit out here, so we hope all goes well for the end. I guess you'll find out if we see this posted somewhere. Typhoons are no fun. Good morning all. It's the morning after the typhoon. You can see that we're waking up to a red sky. I don't know what that means right now because I've always been told red sky in morning, sailor take warning. So I think it's just the after effects of the storm trailing. As soon as we get light, I'll start showing you the damage. We had actually had tornadoes near us, we found out. I'll try to explain later on the next, once the light comes up. I guess we're lucky to have it here at all. These trees were our biggest worry during the storm. We were scared they were going to come down. We did lose branches on it. I'm just glad we didn't lose the whole thing on top of the house. This is part of the tree. Fences are down. The houses did remarkably well. It's a mess inside. They're wet. We have a lot of water coming from everywhere. Leaky roofs. But when you have 140, I think it was 140, 150 mile an hour winds at some point, you're just glad to have things still there. I heard that Palico has problems. All their poles are down all over the place. It's hard enough to get service out here. I can't imagine getting all their poles back up. You can see the trees somewhat stripped up there. It looks like a war zone. I mean, every time a huge gust would come through, we thought we were losing it all. You can see all the trees have been stripped of stuff over here. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have been through this before. This is a natural look to them. It's not to me. Stay tuned. This is the storage. We knew this would happen in a bad storm. We didn't expect a bad storm. All the tarps blown off, and I'm sure it's a total mess inside that we'll have to figure out and clean up. But at least it's still standing. It has a roof. The car did fine. Tractor did fine. Tarp came off and my ropes on the roof to keep that roof supported. Gardens like this are just demolished. All the tarps we had around to keep rain out, demolished. Believe it or not, our lights are still on. They're solar. It just went off, but they stood. This was a tornado. We didn't realize it was a tornado because it was very broad, but it took out all the trees over here. I mean, it snapped them. They're still in the way now, you can see. It's a mess here. We're going to have to do a lot of cleanup. I don't know how they're going to do it because chainsaws aren't allowed here for one thing. And you need chainsaws to cut some of this up. Otherwise you have to use a bolo and like a hatchet and cut it. The trail back to the chickens. A lot of stuff in the way, of course. Had very little damage on the chicken house. We had one corner torn up, and that's about it. We have a hole poked in the top from something going through it at high speed, but not bad. Not bad. Really pretty surprised that things did as well as they did. for us. I mean, God was on our side. I prayed a lot during the storm. Pretty scary. Well, I figured that solar panels are going to be gone in the wind. So a lot of the solar stuff's going to have to be replaced, I'm sure, because it flew. All the fences are gone here. The house stood. This little house was one of the family members, and it actually stood up. Amazing. Amazing. Chickens are hungry, so we'll have to attend to them now. Welcome to Storm City now. Super Typhoon Odette left her mark. Well, we cleared some of the area here. Tractor's pretty good at shoving it out of the way. We're going to go down the road, see what we can find, see if we can help some people down there with clearing the road off. I heard there's poles everywhere. We should be able to push poles off unless the cables are still on it. Alright, so we're starting to be able to push some of this stuff out of the way. My Sawako's moving stuff manually by hand. We'll try to get the rest. She brought up a good point. I don't want to push it too far to cause problems on cleanup. We don't know what they have to do here, but we'll get it off the street where people have a pretty good passage through here. We already got a lot of it out of the way, so we'll finish it up. Hey guys, this will be the last of the Odette vlog here. No one likes typhoons, and you've seen some of the damage done. It's like every other bad storm, but the Filipino people are really resilient. I didn't see any of them sitting down crying about it. Yeah, I'm sure they all had sorrow and they lost a lot of their stuff, but they weren't sitting there and letting it stop them. They did a little bit of mourning maybe. First they lost someone. There were people that did. I don't think we had anyone here, thank goodness. But they continue on in life. They're used to hardships. We will too. We lost all the covering on this. We're going to put hardwood up. You know, it's a temporary thing. We've cut all the trees down so there's no more tree threats. They were too tall. There was a chance of them falling. They already did, some of them. So every tree that you see still standing is going to be no threat to the housing up there when we put it in there. We turned around and we're going to use that wood that we're taking from the trees over there and make siding and everything else with it. It's really pretty wood. They started yesterday on it. You can see it's stacking over there. So they have that particular saw that they can mill with. The DNR here is given a 5-day pass on cutting trees and stuff. They know how important it is. They're usually really, really tight with chainsaws. It's almost like you have to check a chainsaw out if they get one from you. But the wood's real pretty. So we'll get more of that wood and we'll be able to put it up for siding. You can see some of the trees down now out there. I didn't really want to take the trees down, but after watching the storm and the crashing of them, it made me think twice. In the meantime, we've added solar. I got a 550 watt panel, controllers, and a 200 amp hour battery. So last night was the first night we've had a fan. Ran all night on AC power. We have lights now in the morning if we want to. I've got to feel out the system and see what we can get away with without draining too much during the day. There's the panel. It's a big one. Did a temporary mount so we can move it up there to the house after it's built. So we too keep on moving. We didn't have the losses some of these other people did though. I mean, our chickens are healthy. They're always hungry. They're laying eggs. We're very thankful for that. We've been blessed. So the inside of the solar system. We have some really competent people, brothers, sisters, and they made this panel here. So now we have full control panel in here, and this is the 200 amp hour battery. So regardless, everyone continues on.